For those goalkeepers that are comfortable striking the ball over distance with their main foot, you know, if you're right footed goalkeeper and you're comfortable with your right foot, great. We should be working on our weaker foot as well. So for me, I'm a right footed goalkeeper. I need to work on my left foot striking over distance as well. Same principles apply. We go in, we do the same thing, and we just work on our left foot. So if I'm starting with progression 1, I'm taking non-kicking foot, which is my right, next to the ball, 1 big step back, 1 to the side, and I'm aiming again to try and hit that top portion of the net. All right, that was a decent strike of the ball, but it only happens because I do the same thing that I do with my right, okay? I take a step directly behind the ball and 1 to the side, and then I step forward and I strike through and I turn my hips through the ball. A lot of goalkeepers struggle with their weaker foot because they don't use the same technique as they do with their stronger foot. Again, it takes years to develop the confidence to be able to strike a ball over distance with your weaker foot, but it's something we should be working on a weekly basis to get better at. Can I see another ball? Can I see that one? All right, so if we're going over now we're going on to progression 2. We're looking at going like 2 or 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 2 to the side. So now I'm working on beating the press. I've got somebody closing me down. I don't have options to my left or right. I need to beat the press and chip the ball over into my centre midfielder's feet. So again, we go 3 back, 2 to the side, same principles apply. We step through and we strike the ball, okay? And again, I generate the power by getting through the ball, and I finished over by the goal line, even though I struck the ball from around the 6-yard line, okay? Following through, that generates power and distance. So last progression. So now we're taking a goal kick with our left foot, okay? So you set the ball up, same as with my right foot, I'm gonna do the same thing, okay? Non-kicking foot, 5 steps back. And then we're gonna go 2 to the side. That allows me to open up my hips and drive the ball over distance. And we step through it, and we strike over distance, and we finish by the goal line. So if you are stronger with your right foot and you don't need to practice as much, I can guarantee your weaker foot needs a little bit of work. Goalkeepers, now we've gone through our progressions and we've done 1, 2, and 3 into the goal. Now we can set up and start striking the ball over distance like we would in a game. So here I have 4 targets. I've got my wide right midfielder, 2 centre mids and a wide left midfielder. They're about 40 to 50 yards away. So we want to be striking the ball over distance with power and height. Again, we're beating a press and we're trying to get the ball into a player's feet. Our setup, whilst we're in a game, and this is not a free kick situation, maybe the ball is live and we don't have time to take 5 steps back and 2 to the side in a game when we're under pressure. The principle of striking the ball is still the same. We want to create an angle so that as we strike the ball, our hips are open, and as we strike the ball, they close and aim towards our target, okay? So that's what I'm going to try and demonstrate here. So, Logan, I'm going to hit you. So hand up so the camera can see. Hands up. All right, you're my target. So again, I'm looking here to strike through the ball and hit my target. All right, so they opened up my hips too much. Ball's gone off to the right, okay? So I know, can I see that ball please, Sebi? I know that to hit Logan now, I need to be closing my hips a little bit more and not leaving them so open. So again, a few steps back, couple to the side. Logan! And that's a better strike, okay? And we're hitting the ball in an area that our centre midfielder can bring the ball down, or if we're hitting our striker and they've got their back to goal, it gives them the opportunity to control the ball and start the play. All right, Sebi, when you step in, give us a quick demo. Sebi, I want you to hit Ella. Ella! All right, Sebi's locked in on his target.
Yes, Ella.
And a great strike, hitting his target, she barely had to move. Perfect, okay? In we come. I would like you to hit Luke. Luke, arms up. All right. Okay, we didn't get the height and distance that we were looking for, but we struck the ball quite well. I think it was more of a case of we turned our hips a little bit too quickly and we pulled it slightly, okay? Which is fine, it happens, okay? So now I've hit my centre forward or my centre mid, I've beat the press. Now maybe I want to hit my wide midfielder. So Brian, you're my right winger, I'm trying to hit you. And again, we're under pressure here. We've got somebody closing us down. We're not looking for a massively looped service where it's going to take time to get there and come down and the player has to wait for the ball to get to them. I'd like to see more of a driven service here because I'm trying to start a counter-attack almost. Their midfield and forward are pressed up, they're pressing our defenders, and I can break that press by striking the ball over distance to my right midfielder. All right, ready, Brian? All right, so again, not perfect. He's had to move a little bit for it, but I've hit it in his path that he can run into rather than having to wait for the ball. Okay, Sebi, here we go. You're going to hit Brian as well. Brian, here's another one. So again, Sebi, let's try and go for more of a driven service here. We don't want too much height on this one.
Yes, Brian.
All right, a little bit behind him. The actual strike was good and the height was good, but we're a little bit off on our direction. Same again, we're hitting Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
All right, good strike. Okay, it's got into his target, perfect. Okay, so now we're in a position where, again, we maybe have a little bit more time. Ella, can you go a little bit further back? So we're now in a position where we want to strike the ball over distance because there's maybe a 1v1 situation with the striker and the goalkeeper. The striker and the defender. So Ella is my target. Okay, again, I'm looking to maybe try and drive this a little bit more than height. So I pick my target and I aim and I strike. So that technique is a little bit more of a stab where you're not following through the ball so much. You're hitting the ball more central in the middle of the ball and you strike through and you hit the ball and you stop and the ball cannons off your foot and it goes towards its target. That's a little bit more difficult of a technique, especially when the grass is a little bit longer. All right, Ella, can you knock that ball back, please? It's a little bit more difficult of a technique as well, just because as you strike the ball, if you get this one wrong and it goes too low, you could be hitting that right into a forward's feet. There we go, Sebi, let's have a little demo of this. Yeah, we're going for Ella.
Yes, Ella.
All right, so a little bit too much height on that one. All right, when we're going for this stabbing technique, the ideal height is, you know, like maybe like 20 feet in the air, driven over distance. We're not looking for too much height here because that's going to take time to get down to the player's feet.
Ella.
All right, decent strike again, a little bit off target, but we're looking more at the technique of how do we drive the ball and get it low into feet rather than the goalkeeper waiting for it. Okay, Logan. All right, again now Logan is my target. He's more central. I'm going to try and drive this a little bit lower into him. Ready, Logan? All right, that's the perfect one. We can finish there, it's not getting any better. No, that was exactly what I was looking for. I struck the ball low and hard into my target's feet. They were able to control the ball quite easily. And again, that takes time, it takes years of practice to develop. This is not something you're going to do overnight. If you're struggling with your goal kicks, if you're struggling with striking the ball consistently well, have a go with the progressions that we did earlier, and then find a friend, get out on a field and start striking the ball over 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, until you get comfortable how to strike the ball consistently well over greater distances. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below.